This would be the breakthrough season, the year that every Fremantle fan had hoped would be just around the corner. Not that there weren't moments of anguish, performances that tested the resolve of players, coaching staff and supporters. But then it all clicked into place. There would be 9 consecutive wins, shattering the club's modest records. There would be 15 wins for the season, and for the first time the Dockers were in the first-class seats in September. There would be a finals triumph in front of an adoring home crowd, and most importantly, there was a feeling of self-belief. The Dockers had arrived. There would be personal triumphs. Jeff Farmer would kick 54 goals, Matthew Pavlich would finish with 67 and along the way become the club's greatest goal kicker. Peter Bell would top 100 games as captain, and Chris Connolly would bring up the century as coach. The Superstar Pavlich would win a record-equalling 3rd Doig Medal, finish 6th in the Brownlow, play superbly in the finals and win a 4th All-Australian selection. For the Fremantle Dockers, the rise from the relative obscurity of 10th place mid-season to become a power broker in September was a story of resilience and perseverance. It was the story of 2006, and it had its beginnings in Tasmania in less than auspicious circumstances on the first Sunday in April.
The broadcast side of the ground, Mundy on the wing.
The season opened at York Park in Launceston against Hawthorn, and it was not the opening Chris Connolly and his men had hoped for. Indirect football and an all-time AFL record of 269 uncontested possessions for a losing side gave a fair example of the style of play that led to the Dockers' downfall. A goal up at quarter time, Fremantle would fall away in the second half.
5 years ago in Australian rules footy, now the Wismar, he milked it pretty well.
And 6. It is. The Dockers get their second.
It's opened up for a lead here.
It's got the breeze. Goes to Headland. Chips it wide and Longmuir. 21 games last year, Justin Longmuir. Another good season from him. And that's another good kick from him.
Farmer got Headland inboard. Should run on and accept the handball and does. Sits it up over the top. Now Pavlich a chance. It's not going to get to him because McFarlane has taken a terrific mark. Always done the overhead marking thing well. That's what's ahead of him.
No problem for
the
him.
The Dockers need a goal and they get one. He's waiting for something to present. Goes to the hot spot. Oh, that's a terrific mark. He had 4 to beat.
What, so Australia won't win in South Africa?
McFarlane with the set shot. Right through the middle. Walker can run to 50. Can penetrate with a long kick. It's not going to make the distance, and Longmuir turns around and kicks a beautiful goal.
Well done.
You know, and the game ends up on the line in a flood environment because it ends up low scoring at, for quite a while as a rule. Centre bounce 9-1. Centre bounces are a major focus in a flood environment because, it's a 50-50 in terms of scoring, and they certainly annihilated us there and were able to finish off, and Mark Williams was terrific up forward for them.
Longmuir, McFarlane and Farmer each kicked 3, while Bell was the best player.
Sandland stumps it forward. Crowley took the bump, snapped it over the shoulder and gets the first goal of the game.
What a difference a week makes. Against Carlton at home at Subiaco under lights, the Dockers were hard at the ball, hard on their opponents and saw the results on the scoreboard. Despite a fierce fight back by the visitors, the Dockers would open their account.
Oh, he's kicked it straight into Pavlich. Pavlich, can he get a boot on it? Yes, he can! Terrible mistake. Mark Murphy. Mundy bearing down on him. Costly turnover. Mundy provides the run. Here's Metcalf, started the game on the bench at centre half forward. Spearing kick. Medhurst on the chest. He wants to play on. Bit of arrogance, but it's still a goal.
Pavlich, a long way from home. Short pass. Chipping over the top. Dodd. 60 out. Crowley away from Stevens. Got it. 51 metres out. Absolutely perfect. Back to Dodd. Fremantle once again trying to build from the midfield. High ball, Sandilands, can he get there? Couldn't, didn't matter. McFarlane can, and kicks the goal. Chance here for Crowley, he's got 2. He's tight in the pocket. He goes back to Farmer, that won't bother him. The Wizard. Is it 15? It is. That's a beautiful vision of what is ahead of Luke McFarlane. He makes no mistake. He waits for an option and one arrives, but he missed McGrath. Medhurst chips in. Tries to milk the 50. Not successful. Spots up Farmer. Had to wait and did so nicely. Good mark by Jeff Farmer. From inside 50. It's not too bad off the boot. Touches the ball on the ground. Gives the gluteals a workout and pops it up to Farmer. Couldn't take it. Another chance. Farmer twisting, turning, has a look round the shoulder, kicks it around and kicks the goal.
Oh, it's good to get the 4 points. You know, I think with every 4 point win, it's great for the club. Well, you know, the questions you don't like answering because, you know, if we lost every game by 100 points, you'd be in trouble. If you win, you know, so we've won the 4 points, so that's great for everyone involved in the club.
A 15-point win, Crowley and Carr the best, McFarlane and Farmer with 3 goals each.
Loading.
A goalless opening quarter was an unusual start, but the crowd at Football Park in Adelaide were left in shock as Fremantle came out firing against Port. 14 behinds were scored before Jeff Farmer steered through the first goal of the match in the second term. Former Port Premiership player Josh Carr was a standout for the Dockers against his old side, picking up 27 possessions and 2 fine goals. Matthew Pavlich, in his 100th consecutive game, was a star up forward, while McFarlane slotted 3 for the 3rd week in a row.
Headland dumped. Josh Carr slung. And the free kick is going the way of the Dockers, although that could be advantage and a goal it will be. Hurries a kick forward and it lands in the lap of Josh Carr. Thank you. This for a 27-point lead. Coming back. It's good. The Dockers are on their way. Deep to the goal square. Bell for Headland on the right. Wraps it around his body. Oh, there's another one. Shammer towards Bell. Chaplin 2 grabs, not the 3rd. McFarlane caught by Peter Burgoyne, got it to Pavlich, finds an opening, hooks it back, and the Dockers are on their way to victory. He bombs it long to a 50-50. Kane Corns, marked by Bell, not 15, recovers well, snaps it, goal, and kicks a captain's goal. There's still 6.5 minutes to go. Farmer flares it out wide. McManus closes to 55, reaches 50, lines them up, drives it long, and drives it straight.
You know, we've got a lot of confidence in our conditioning. You know, we've had the majority of our group really do just about every training session off season, and we think we've taken it to another level at our club. So we've got a lot of confidence that we can play out the 4 quarters, and we've shown that in most of our games. And yeah, look, you know, we were looking forward to the second half, and you know, so it was good.
Freo by 31 points, Hazelby, Johnson and the Cars the best, McFarlane the leading goal scorer.
Measures the pass nicely.
A poor start against talented opposition would prove ever so costly when the Dockers met Adelaide at Subiaco in round 4. 28 points down at half-time, the Dockers would fight back valiantly after a hat-trick of goals to Polak, Pavlich and Farmer.
His 8th for the season.
Carr over the footy, squeezes back to McManus. Black. Crows defence hanging tough. Quick kick from Pavlich to the front of the square. He's struggled in front of goals in the past, but from 25 metres you would think he'd be able to poke it through, and he has, and a much-needed goal. Ball spills to the front, and every time Adelaide have got a fist on it, they've had men front and centre. Well, it's come straight back now. There's Farmer. This time he's on his feet. This time he slots home the goal.
It's kicked a mongrel. It's been a nice start, though, by the Dockers because they keep getting the ball. This time Hazelby bangs it back. Man standing there is Polak, and he's got it. So Polak for his second, and such an important kick. He sneaks it through. Reflex give is a good one to Carr. He wants someone to run for him. And the biggest man on the ground does. Sandilands has that for a pass. Well, he's showing him how to do it. McFarlane turns around and hits Pavlich. Just what the Dockers would need. The first 2 goals of the second half, never in doubt. And they get it back. Lovely tap from Longmuir. Releases McManus. Swings back onto his right. Short pass, Farmer.
Competition between Rashudo and Grover. Grover just looked quicker across the ground.
Farmer kicks the goal. The Dockers 3 in a row in the third term. He's played on because he worked right around the mark and he's buggered it right up. And the umpire's gone down, completely floored by Polak. Just when he was about to blow the whistle, the umpire is down in a spot of bother. It's umpire Kieran Nichols.
Now, he was the first umpire, if I remember rightly, who Todd Curley ran into.
He's got the cool Ben Hart right next to him and kicks it long. Here comes Perry. Great courage shown by McFarlane. He's flat on the ground after Perry came.
Perry's done his knee, I think, there. He has come in.
Here's the replay. Ooh, and that would have hurt both players. Perry's in trouble. Called for the stretch. Umpire hasn't seen it yet.
And the cart is on the ground while the game's still going. They brought the motorised cart on while the game's still in play.
And something better, if they could get a score, they get a goal. Or is it touched? Umpire's going to signal a goal. Dockers are still in it.
Mundy forced to spoil. No, he goes to the grab over the top of Riley.
Gee, you can play.
Hazelby heard a voice out the back of his park. McManus is still on his own on the scoreboard. Wing can get it and go. And Josh Carr is on the forward 50. McManus has got to find him. He does. Stretches. Right boot, not his preferred. Kicks into the pocket. 35,000. They're hushed. They need it. He provides it.
It was a missed opportunity from our point of view. You know, we were outplayed convincingly, particularly in the first quarter, with key components to our game, and they're things we can rectify, and we will rectify. But it's 4 points gone missing, and it's going to be a very close competition.
An 11-point loss, Farmer and Polak each with 3 goals, while McManus, Shammer and Farmer were the standouts.
McManus, Farmer, improvising, Graham's in the road.
Back to York Park, this time St Kilda, and one of the most controversial finishes in the history of league football. In an error-riddled game, Pavlich scarcely made a mistake, beating off half chances. He kicked 6 goals in a virtuoso performance and was clearly best afield. The game was hard and at times spiteful. The tribunal would work overtime. While Fremantle led all afternoon, it was the ending that would be the story of the day.
Gets the kick inside 50. Polak's down there. He's knocked it down to Pavlich. He's got 3.
Long ball towards full forward. Cook, well, it's dropped there. Cook couldn't get to the contest. Farmer emerges with the football and snaps it back over the left shoulder for a goal. Matthew kicks it back inside the forward 50. Headland dropped the mark. Graham will soccer. Good bump from McManus, put him off the line of the football. Gave them a second chance, the Dockers. Going at his 4th goal, Pavlich. Well, the cream is rising to the top. Montagna back into the fray. Great tackle from behind by Gilmore. Advantage is paid. It was a tight advantage. Headland miscues with a kick. Farmer gets there. Takes it out of the hands of his opponent, Blake. Wheels around, snaps. He's kicked his 3rd. Ball, Bacon square, sets up, getting back down there and taking a good grab. Johnson, he was going, but the call had not come. Oh, Freys. Mouthguard was half in when Freys decided he was going to go after Grover. Now a headlock on Mundy, and he's completely losing it, Fraser. He will fight anybody down there. This is silly by the veteran.
Sure, they did. They did
more
tease
than one.
They teased him.
Johnson comes in and kicks the goal. He should gallop back to Fraser.
He's going to get another free kick here. He's grabbed him by the throat. He's going to get another free kick.
Ball comes out to Graham. Pavlich couldn't get near it then. Might get near it now. Gets on the end of the ball handball, and he's slotted it. Pavlich has 6.
So a bounce 40 metres out. They've got to win clear possession here, the Saints. Fremantle need to block them into space. Opportunity for Freo. They left it behind. That was Headland, and the ball is locked in again. And I think the clock will stop again. Saints wanting a free kick.
Just about all that can happen now is a free kick out of this. That's about the only thing.
Well, how many seconds to go?
What are they appealing for, the Dockers?
The light. Johnson knocked it down. Blake over his shoulder. Fiora across to Baker. Baker lines up and kicks. A point. There's going to be a free... No.
The siren's already sounded.
They were saying they heard the siren.
The siren's already sounded, but they did not hear it.
Went. Oh, wouldn't you be seething if you're Chris Connolly?
He's going out there, Chris Connolly. He's heading out there to try and work out what's going on.
Baker is getting another kick. Well...
To be perfectly honest, I didn't hear the siren, but I saw the clock go off the screen when it's supposed to have gone off.
Well, the Dockers put their hands up and were appealing that they heard it.
Well, how did he get the point then? In comes Baker, and Baker has kicked another point. Does the previous point stand? We have no idea. But there's no time left. Anyway, as soon as he bounces it, the siren should go.
Yeah, so that's siren. That's in the game there.
Yeah, that's where it ends. Right
Should
there.
Yeah, our shot clock's already run down to 0. And if there's such a thing as counting below 0, we're in minus time left.
So it happened in a grand final. 92,000 people. The game's finished. The team's celebrating because they're won. And it's play on. The umpire on the bench was asked. He said, well, you clearly heard it like most people. And Hayden Kenny looked to be running down to stop the game. We thought it was all wrapped up. In fact, the clock had stopped in the coach's box a long time before, and I couldn't believe it when I was walking down the stairs. I said, what's going on? Has there been a fight? I was running out to kind of settle things down. But the Fremantle Football Club, will leave no stone unturned for our 35,000 supporters to get these 4 points. I mean, we cop a fair bit of flack for different reasons. We haven't won a premiership, and we'll keep copping it until we do. But, this is unacceptable. We clearly won the game, and they're our 4 points. And we'll go through the process of getting that rectified.
Fremantle lodged a protest within minutes, and on Wednesday, after a league investigation, the Dockers were declared winners of the match, 14-10-94 to 13-15-93. Their first victory on Tasmanian soil.
Seavey against Pavlich.
The 23rd Derby would be one of the best, one of the most talked about in the history of the contest. The Dockers were magical, and in front of more than 42,000 inflicted the Eagles' first defeat in 2006. It wasn't easy. Fremantle lost young ruck giant Aaron Sandilands with a broken jaw midway through the second quarter, but found a willing replacement in Graham Pavlich. Again, Pavlich stood up. What a player.
Coming off 6 last week, he's got his first in the Derby.
Penetrating kick to 50. Pavlich with body strength, works Stengline off and kicks a fantastic goal. He can go over the top to Black. Kerr will try and run him down. We're punted the other way. They ran into each other. Black, now Headland. Des loads up from 50. Goes for it and gets it.
He doesn't take it. This could hurt Fremantle. Stengline put it on the carpet. Johnson did well. Second effort enormous. That's the type of stuff that wins games. He chips it out to Pavlich. Kicks to Pavlich. Hunter's lost him. Steers it home.
Deserves a ripping last quarter because, the first 3 have been outstanding. Pavlich to Thornton. He launches it long inside 50. Pavlich has got away. Pavlich, deliberate, effective.
Parker has to be patient. They need a mark, Fremantle. Ball comes to the skipper.
In the end, there would be a hero. The match decided when Freo midfielder Paul Hazelby took advantage of a set shot from 40 metres in the final minutes to give his side the lead for good. It was Hazelby's first goal of the year.
Hazelby kicks. Dockers in front.
Carr to Pavlich. Fremantle have won a classic. Paul Hazelby with the winning goal.
Well, we have a lot of confidence now with our playing list that we think we've got a lot of depth. You know, Ryan Murphy, Troy Cook, guys who missed out today, Daniel Gilmore, and the list goes on, really deserve an opportunity, and we know they won't let us down when they get a look. So that gives you a lot of confidence. And we've spent a fair bit of time together, so the chemistry's starting to build amongst the team. And having said that, we think there's components of our game, like our ruck clearances, that we can really take to another couple levels.
The Dockers winning their 6th derby, Pavlich 4, Josh Carr 3, and they would be the standouts in a 5-point win.
No height there at all for the Dockers.
Hot off the Eagles' triumph, Fremantle met Melbourne on a gloomy afternoon at the MCG, a day on which the lights were on at quarter time. Fremantle got off to a flyer when Jeff Farmer kicked truly in the opening minute. His quick hand-to-foot goal under pressure was the 400th of his career, while it was also a significant milestone as he became the first Indigenous AFL player to reach that figure. A Troy Cook goal followed immediately after, and Fremantle had 2 in 2 minutes and a 12-point lead. But when Davey opened Melbourne's account with a lovely running goal, it was the start of things to come. Melbourne would open a 6-goal lead by half-time and finish 10 up.
He's got it. He can kick a goal. He stands and delivers from 35 metres out and hammers it home.
Thornton could cut this off. Need to get it in quickly. Johnson's tracking back towards the goal square. Kick heads in that direction. That's a very good mark. Johnson close to the man on the mark, but kicks the goal.
Wheels around onto the right boot. Penetrating kick. Great kick. Danger here for Melbourne. They're looking for a crumb. Johnson. Can he kick a goal? He's got it.
Firstly, our poor ball use, particularly kicking the ball inside forward 50. We just kind of bombed away, if you like. And secondly, I thought in the second quarter that, you know, our defensive pressure just wasn't there. I mean, pressure we'd shown in previous games, just wasn't creating turnovers.
Michael Johnson, the leading goal kickers for the Dockers with 3. Pavlich and Shammer the best in a 59-point thumping.
Shammer spears a kick to forward 50. McFarlane beautifully read.
Matthew Pavlich again showed why he is one of the classiest footballers in the AFL as the Dockers dispatched the Kangaroos in round 8 at Subiaco. It was not one of the great games, with the Roos deplorable after half-time. This was a day in which Fremantle did all they needed to win the 4 points.
Inside 50, Matthew Carr's having a fair day, back in the side. From 30 metres out. He gets it home. He can raffle it here. Winning ticket 25 in Dodd, and his disposal was poor, but he's lucky to have Bell there. He got a bit of good shepherd too from Dodd, and a bit of class on the game from Peter Bell. Right on 50. Nice kick. Goal umpire doesn't have to move.
They do have, of course, 10 scoring shots.
Polak out the back, taken by Pavlich, snaps over the right shoulder for a goal.
Great mark.
Great grab from Sinclair.
Real courage there from Jess Sinclair, just going straight back in that.
Luke McFarlane is injured and he's hobbling badly behind play. There it is there. Ankle, I think, in that contest with Jess Sinclair.
That one finds Peake, who kept running. Good work from Brett Peake. He kicks it long towards the goal square. Plenty of numbers there. Great grab, Hazelby. And 6 points. He's got 3. Fans here at Subiaco this afternoon keeping a close eye on Byron's disposal rate. Peter Bell spears a kick. It was a beauty. Off a couple of steps. Didn't make good contact, but that's not what it will say in the paper tomorrow. Unrewarded running. McIntosh sold his man into trouble. Here's a chance. Farmer calls the turnover. Murphy gets it back at 45. Launches it high. Bends it back. Hallelujah! Duffield links up with Dodd. Now Duffield wants to take them on. Tries to create something. Walker from a tight angle. Squares it up. Murphy's at the back all alone.
Good kick. Great kick.
Ryan Murphy kicks his 3rd.
Young Pete does provide plenty of the run. In the lime green boots, kicks inside 50. Pavlich just got rid of Hay. Stands and takes the mark. Pavlich, this will hurt the Kangaroos. And it does.
Get the ball into open space. Walker got it to Bell. It was a beautiful kick to Pavlich. It's working back. Pavlich has got 5. Bell did. Thornton with the spiral inside 50. 2-on-1 at ground level. Polak Farmer, what can he come up with? Ducks under one, ducks around the second, sets up a goal for Longmuir. Longmuir converts.
Byron, everyone holds their collective breath. Mundy, Farmer. What a goal! High fives the crowd and ices the game.
The take on it was that we were playing a side that had put everything on the line as far as their season goes, and we had to match that. And we certainly did till half-time, and then we put a space in the game, and we managed to sustain our pressure.
Pavlich 6 goals and the 3 Brownlow votes in an outstanding solo performance. Ryan Murphy kicked 3, and with the skipper Peter Bell was one of the very best.
He's following around Peter Bell.
A rejuvenated Brisbane handed out a walloping to the Dockers when they made the arduous road trip to the Gabba in round 9. Fremantle was well served by wide-roaming centre-half forward Matthew Pavlich, who kicked 2 goals, and Peter Bell, Heath Black, Sean McManus and Brett Peake in the midfield.
Punch.
Kick the goal,
straight into the hands of Black. He goes to the hot spot at the top. Pavlich had a fly out and he'll kick the goal anyway.
Oh, Ackermanis has gone over to Josh Carr and given him a push around. Tib and Josh won't like that.
Matty Carr steps through. Very well done. Long forward. Pavlich. For goal number 2 for the Super Pav. And it's there. Gets it to Dodd. He can hand off to Pavlich. Running the lines. Goes and a big grab taken by Hazelby.
He's got a lot of knowledge in that head of his.
Hasn't been a massive afternoon for Paul Hazelby. And I reckon he's just snuck it in.
Yep.
He has.
Shrug the attempted tackle, goes to Pavlich. He's too far out to score. Just pokes it towards full forward. Longmuir. He's got one. This is possession number 11. And it's a beautiful kick.
Fixter to Power. The look-away handball didn't work. Black can pump it in long. He can pump it in very long. He can kick a beautiful running goal.
Well, it's a combination of, winning the ball firstly, and I think that was most disappointing. Controlling the ball under physical pressure, but also, our run through the midfield wasn't there to give our forwards, kind of access to quick ball movement. So, but it gets back to attack on the ball, and it becomes infectious in a negative way on other aspects of your game.
Pavlich, Bell and McManus the best in a 68-point loss.
Just a little bit there behind the line.
I think it doesn't have to be totally behind the line. 1 foot at least.
There's a goal. Forget about that. It's a goal. It's from nothing. Peter Bell.
Richmond at Subiaco in round 10 would be one of the most crucial games of the season. In coach Chris Connolly's 100th at the helm, the Dockers looked in all sorts of trouble as the Tigers led by 3 kicks midway through the final quarter. The Docker spirit kicked in for a tremendous victory.
Matthew Carr, 55 metres, heads to the goal square. Pavlich is at the back. He's got it. Play on the call. Play on the call. Doesn't matter because he'll kick it. Oh, he can do anything.
Medhurst short on the lead. Into the pocket. Good gather, Campbell. Gets it back to Medhurst. Steps through some traffic. Takes on Gaspar. Tries to think about going for a pass, but he goes on his own and lights it.
Shammer got it from McManus in turn to Walker. McManus has run on. Got a bad bounce. Inboard Headland. Good finisher. Finishes.
Put the strong tackle on Gaspar. Pettifer forced to defend. He's going to just walk it over the line. And that might be 50 metres.
And a free kick, surely.
Des Headland's involved. He's on report. Umpire's gone for the book. His commitment in this last quarter has been outstanding. Rain stood up in a strong tackle. It's thrown to the ground. He's feeling the effects. It came off from McManus. Now it comes to Farmer. Touching it. Yeah, it was good vision. Pete ran into space. Again, he likes it straight off the boot.
Burrows in and gets it out to Hazelby. Hooks it round the corner. Strong hands, Dodd. Pettifer and Dodd. And Pettifer's been reported.
Just outnumbering every contest.
Medhurst hooks that too far. Somehow it goes to Carr. And it bounces it through. Shammer's got some pace. Ball is at ground level. Pavlich releases McManus. He can run in and kick the goal. McManus to put the Dockers in front, and he does!
Gasper committed to the ball. Matthew Carr over it. Interesting give to Pavlich. Out the back. It's Medhurst. He stands on a thruppity bit. Kicks to the goal line and hooks it. Is it there?
In fact, I know they're 16th in the AFL, so I was aware of that. And, you know, we've really put in a great pre-season. We've got a lot of good running power. And if we could tidy up our use of the ball, we'd probably worked out a better kind of mechanism to move the ball out of our defensive 50, which created some space for us.
Peake was awarded the 3 Brownlow votes, while Pavlich was the top goal scorer with 3 in an 11-point win.
Harris did well. Hargrave Street.
A miserable Sunday afternoon under the roof at the Dome in Melbourne would be translated into a 14-point loss to the Bulldogs. Fremantle, though undermanned, fought back valiantly, but to no avail.
Already got 1 goal. There's another. 2 for McFarlane.
Not any fault of the kick. Skipper just couldn't hang on to it. Turnover. Montgomery, Headland, Peake, steps on through and kicks a beautiful goal.
Shammer, recovery skills good. Now it's all about the left foot. Beautiful ball presented there to Pavlich from right on 50. Kick is on the way. Looks great off the boot. Look at that. Josh Carr. A wee ball under the wing. Here's Black. Pavlich, first time in the quarter they've gone through him. And they're 22 points down. Pavlich, look at that.
That's the other reason.
Just the goal when you need it from the big boy downtown.
A shoulder injury, Grover. Down.
He's craving that like he's dislocated it. Now Headland. 55 from home. Pavlich offers the lead in the pocket. It's got a little bit too much on it, but at the back, Farmer read it well. Spent 91% of the time on the ground. Kick is a goal. Farmer has got it. His first of the day.
Duffield has it. Thumping handball. They should get a goal out of this. Headland in space and kicks the ball very cleverly through. So the Dockers have got a couple in a row. Black overran it. Dockers still alive. It comes to Walker. Walker concedes. Pavlich can take it, or Black. Left foot ball from Black. He's got the journey, and it's right through the middle.
You know, the ball moves quicker on this ground than any other ground for obvious reasons, but we were never in fear of being outrun. We had to make sure that on the burst out of clearances the Bulldogs didn't score. So your structures have got to be, you know, quite good, and you know, we just fell down in some components.
Pavlich kicked 3 and was the Dockers' best. Josh Carr and Paul Hazelby were standouts with 26 and 25 disposals respectively.
189 centimetres, he certainly has a height advantage there.
It was hard to gauge just where Fremantle's season was heading at the midway mark of 2006. Geelong came to Perth and thumped the Dockers at Subiaco, ending a 6-game losing streak on the ground. Incredibly, the Cats held the Dockers to only 1 goal after half-time.
Called now to play on from 55. Spears a pass along the ground. McFarlane did well. It sat nicely for him. He goes short to Crowley. 2-2 for the season from right on 50. It's got the height and it's got the legs.
There's Pavlich, who worked hard on the last lead to the other side of the ground. That's a good kick. Puts it up. It's bending nicely. He's in form. He's back.
Has to stand and wait. Did so. Walker. Overlap. Headland. They need this one. It just depends on the finish. He goes for it and gets it. Quiet day for him. Just his 10th touch to 50 in Medhurst. Goes towards Farmer. Callan looking at Farmer, not the football, and Farmer takes the mark. The Dockers with just 2 goals 7 since quarter time. The Cats have added 11 goals 5. Farmer gets the goal.
We really let ourselves down as a club. You know, we didn't grab our opportunities early. And, you know, at the end of the day, it was a really poor performance.
Especially with a lot on the line, obviously, for you today.
Well, there was, yeah. We played a team, you know, really desperate. You know, we knew we'd have to, you know, control the midfield. They've got a lot of well-credentialed players in there, and they really stepped up to the mark and controlled the game.
6 individual goal kickers in an 11-goal loss. Josh Carr, Headland and Mundy named the best players.
More switched on the Dockers at the moment as Parker goes to half forward. Looks for Matthew Carr.
Fremantle, who were hoping to win at the SCG for the first time since 1996, gave a good account of themselves and led by a point at three-quarter time on a Saturday night in round 13. Matthew Pavlich was his usual classy self for the Dockers, while the rugged Troy Cook was solid, and Shane Parker, with some help from his teammates, did a great job on Barry Hall, who was goalless and held to just 3 behinds. A 6-goal-to-1 final quarter would sink the Dockers.
Snyder over the top. Cook.
Wow.
Farmer released. Over for Bell. It's in front of him. Just had to control it. Just looked behind. Everything went quiet.
Fell. Inside 50 to Pavlich again. This is a difficult one. Oh, it's a beauty. Pavlich has got 4. Kicks in the direction of Hazel. He couldn't take the mark. Buchanan, quick give to Bevan. Oh, it's a dodgy old kick. Here's a chance for Fremantle. Carr! And they are responding in style. Carr kicks another one.
Our view is to make the finals and win a final. And that was kind of finals like football tonight in terms of the one-on-one intensity. We had a number of players, you know, who I thought Shane Parker was outstanding on Barry Hall, Matthew Carroll and Adam Goods. You know, Stephen Dodd did well in O'Keefe, but at the end of the day, Sydney had more winners across the 22, and, you know, we'll look to rectify that moving forward.
Pavlich kicked 4, Ryan Murphy 2, while Bell and Cook, along with Pavlich, were the standouts in a 33-point loss.
Got a couple of options up forward. Headland gets on the end of the handball from Hazelby.
After 3 straight losses, the Dockers met Essendon on a Friday night at home. It was a must-win match to keep the finals dream alive. It took the Dockers almost 3.5 quarters before they eventually prevailed, but the win came at a cost, with Josh Carr going off with a suspected calf strain and Paul Medhurst suffering calf injuries.
Scraped it home. Right at the start of the game, they did a tag team, the two of them on McPhee.
What would you call this?
That is serious stuff.
Fletcher picks it back up, kicks it along towards half forward. Paddy Ryder's the leaper. Big players go over the top. Mundy's taking the grab.
That is.
Oh. Mark taken by Murphy. Chips the kick to half forward. Headland's up and he's okay. And he loads up along to the square. Pavlich is down there. Got it. 4-1 of Fremantle's 9 goals for last week.
Bell, metres in the clear forward of the play. How about this? To Carr, right on the 50, pushed in the back. No free kick. Hand pass comes across from Murphy, taken by Black. Black pulls it back.
Nice handball to Dodd. Trying to create something with a spearing pass. Inside 50, Fletcher got a fingernail on it. Pavlich kept his feet. Gives it to Shammer. Runs to 20 and goals.
Feeds it back to Parker. And the short one is on towards half forward and Crowley. That was a bad miss. They had the numbers on the wing. It was a poor kick coming out. Crowley back inside the forward 50 and Murphy. Murphy runs inside the 50. We've spoken about his prowess from the standing shot, and again in evidence there. Coming out of the middle, it's Black to half forward, and the mark is held by Drum. So far in this term, Pavlich and Murphy, 2 goals apiece. Black once more, 52 metres out. Long, tilling kick. This could be the break they were after.
Now to Shammer. He can go to the open side. He's got a free man out wide. It's Crowley who can stroll in and have a shot from 50. And they may have it. Push the margin out beyond 30 points and feel as if they've got a 1. Matthew Carr with the takeaway to half forward. Over the head of Murphy. Running onto Crowley. And from 35 sends it home.
Back it comes to Mundy. May have taken mark of the year tonight. And our man was right on the spot, Wayne Russell. There goes the kick inside the forward 50. A beauty from Hayden. votes. Pavlich comes in, kicks. It's bending back. He's going to hit the post. No, he's not. It just sneaks through, and a wry smile.
There would have been a little man in their head saying, gee, you know, if we don't win this game, it really makes it difficult. And, you know, they dealt with that. How you measure that, I'm not sure. But the guys stayed focused on task, and, you know, I thought we come out of the blocks pretty strongly. And then we're challenged, and I think the positive of the second quarter is we dealt with that blow and responded in the second half.
A 6-goal win, the Dockers well served by veteran Sean McManus with 26 touches and 10 marks, while Ryan Murphy and Ryan Crowley each kicked 4. Matthew Pavlich was also terrific with 18 touches, 13 marks and 4 goals as well.
It was thought that he might be out with injury, but he's okay with that calf, as you heard from Robbo.
Fremantle has become Collingwood's bogey team in recent years, and so it was again in 2006 when the Dockers met the Magpies at the MCG. For the 4th time in 5 matches, it would be Fremantle who would prevail. The star of the day, Jeffrey Farmer, who showed all the experience he'd gathered in his illustrious playing career on this ground with Melbourne. His 6 goals would be the difference.
Can bring them undone, but this time through the middle. Dodd. Now Hayden runs, uses his pace. Great delivery, Pavlich. What does Pavlich do with it now? He lines up, has a crack at it. It'll nearly go the journey. It's a great kick.
Spears the pass, hoping for Farmer. Now Pavlich leads one way. Farmer's going the other. He wants to go the whole way himself. Inside 50, goes with the banana again, and this time the banana pays. On his hands and knees, maybe a late chance here for the Dockers. Handball to Johnson. Can he find a target inside 50? Headland plays on. 3 seconds to go and nails it. Block here. Farmer plays for the free. Now he gets one a little high. Well, he shouldn't have played for the free in the first place. Pavlich steals it, and he has nailed it. Slaps at Matthew Carr's direction. Murphy, Matthew Carr, Headland left foot. You can just about put this in the book.
With a right foot banana from 50, that would be unbelievable. It fell short just. Loney need to get rid of it. Quicker soccer on the ground. Farmer! Collingwood players say it was touched. I don't think so.
10.5 plus time on to go. Crowley goes long, off hands. Matthew Carr, O'Brien fell. Matthew Carr, he can shut the door a little here, and he has.
Now it's Drummer driving ball inside 50. Pavlich and Farmer. For goal number 6, Jeff Farmer. He's got it. He salutes. He likes it.
Cloak doing the ruck work against Pavlich. O'Brien shrugged an attempted tackle. Handball too slick for Pendlebury. Running in, open goal. Drum.
I'm really looking forward to the next 7 games and proud of the players that, you know, we get ridiculed a fair bit, probably because it's my 5th year. A lot of pressure goes onto the players because of, you know, myself coaching for the 5th year and how important it is to make finals and the perception that kind of rolls on with that. But 1 game behind Collingwood, and we're 1 game behind Sydney, and, you know, we've always tried to keep things in perspective at Fremantle.
6 to the Wiz and 4 to Pavlich in a 15-point win. Pavlich, Farmer and Josh Carr taking the Brownlow votes as well.
Just about away, but not quite. Pavlich.
Fremantle notched one of its most impressive wins for the year with a clinical 29-point victory over Melbourne in warm and sunny conditions at Subiaco on Sunday afternoon. After trailing by a point at quarter time, the Dockers piled on 11 goals to 5 to record their 9th win of the season. The Dockers' defence conceded only 1 goal in the second and third quarters as Luke McFarlane and Shane Parker did wonderful blanketing jobs on David Neitz and Russell Robertson. The match would be costly, with the AFL hitting both clubs with fines after a half-time melee. In the end, though, Fremantle on a roll.
Quarter number 2. Hearing it from them. Clearing kick only as far as McManus. Oh, that's going to be 50, Byron.
I think the fact that it was Byron Pickett was the reason he wanted to fly that flag.
McManus converts. The Dockers' lead is 8 points. Crowley a chance. We'll get a throw in. The clock frozen with 23 seconds.
There's a great get by Josh Carr to start that ball rolling their way. He was under enormous pressure, but was smart enough to unload the hands.
Brett Green is being reported. Big kick this. Tight angle. Crowley. Oh, look at that!
That's one of the best halves of football I've seen this club produce. They've got a...
Because it's one-on-one footy, Jared, isn't it? It's a different style to what they normally
Hang on, gents. Nothing the umpires can do here. Cooler heads did not prevail. Melbourne have been a frustrated team in the last half hour. Wonder whether the ruck tandem from Melbourne might help them in the second half. Good hands. Farmer to Webster. And the Dockers get the quick reply through Luke Webster. Good hand pass. Headland, Webster, Pavlich. The 50's unguarded. Pavlich can dribble it home. Black with 26, our game leader. He spears this one to half forward. Magnificent kick for Murphy. So here's Murphy looking for the opening goal of the last quarter from beyond 50. Gives it a ride. And the Dockers march to a 7-goal lead. McManus to Peak in the path of Shammer. Slips the tackle and snaps another one. Runs his full quota and drives it long for Pavlich.
We had a more difficult shot this earlier this quarter from 50 out, hit the post.
So there's a certainty.
So this is a certainty, Jared.
The King has spoken.
Really pleased, particularly with the way the 22 players in the team shared the load, and you know, it's a very important game, obviously, and you know, we've been able to build up really strong momentum in the last 3 weeks. It was always going to be difficult with our draw in the first half of the season to build momentum, with a lot of 6-day breaks from big trips and all those types of things. But you know, we've got a lot of home games coming up, and we've got strong momentum now, and we need to really surge forward.
Pavlich kicked 3, Farmer and Crowley 2 each in a 5-goal win. Peak and Sandilands among the votes on Brownlow night.
Sandilands handball batted back near the boundary line.
Carlton in round 17 and the Dockers edged closer to the finals. For 3 quarters, the Dockers dominated before easing off in the last.
Dockers get their second from the Dockers, comes off, but Whitnell's in the way there to spoil.
Well, one over the top's a gimme.
And Murphy gives it to Webster, he'll give it to Pavlich. He'll kick his first of the afternoon.
You just made a big blue pal, and it's caused a bit of a melee.
Well, you're looking for a spark earlier, Wayne. You've got one now. Could we have more fines for the Fremantle Football Club? Sends a high ball to centre half forward. Very tough to mark, and Webster caught one high. Expect some whistles from the umpires in the next few minutes.
Bell.
Webster to Bill. Can go all the way for the quick reply. The skipper delivers. Dodd, favoured by the bounce. Uses Farmer. Goal square unguarded. Jeffrey goes long. Can Shammer run onto it? It might bounce through. It does. Bomb it in. He does. Towards the hot spot. McFarlane's going to fly. He is the king of the speckies. What a launch there. Not as prominent today as he was last week. McManus, well, weighted the handball beautifully. What a start to the second half for the Dockers. Pavlich sends it inside 50. O'Halpin will, he should have conceded it behind, he couldn't. And Murphy says, thanks, mate, that's number 3.
Read it well.
Very well. Wants to get it back from Gilmore, and does. And then delivers precisely. A number 12 draft pick 3 years ago. This for his 4th today. He's on fire. 3 in the 3rd term. Peak, Hayden. Quick ball movement. Forwards love it. Farmer going. Look at that.
This kid knows when to lead.
Just his 20th senior game today, Ryan Murphy. And he's now got a 5-goal bag.
We had an even contribution again from our team. Our work measurements were way up, and that's what had us control the ball early in the game. You know, Ryan Murphy ends up, you know, breaking the game open in the third quarter. But, you know, I don't think we had any standouts today. And, you know, there's a lot of one-on-one contests around the ground that evolved into two-on-ones, things that the coaching staffs can both see, but maybe you wouldn't have seen.
Ryan Murphy with 5 was superb, Pavlich and Farmer 2 apiece. Murphy being named best and taking the 3 Brownlow votes in a 3-goal victory. With 10 wins, Fremantle was now in 7th place on the ladder.
With the overlap is Bill for Crowley.
The finals were becoming a reality as Fremantle entrenched itself in the top 8 with a strong win over Hawthorn. It was their first win over the Hawks since 2002. Chris Connolly had every reason to be delighted as the Dockers made it 5 wins in a row, equalling the club record set in 2003 and 2005. Peter Bell, Heath Black, Roger Hayden and David Mundy were influential in the win, as was big man Aaron Sandilands, who finished with 22 hitouts and as many possessions. Jeff Farmer crumped everything up forward and was a constant nuisance to finish with 4 goals, while Justin Longmuir, who returned after 3 weeks on the sidelines, provided an excellent target in attack and thoroughly deserved his 4-goal return.
Decides to play on, Farmer in the goal square. Good shepherding by Pavlich, so Farmer will go back and drill his second. A goal assist. Yeah, that's a unique club. Oh my! How did that not be a whistle? And they're going after Cook.
Try, give me the ball.
The umpire's going to try and bounce it up quickly. And there's a free. Hang on.
Free kick.
And Hodgie's in there.
Yeah. Well, this is chaos. This is chaos.
Well, they've got players free everywhere because half the side's in the brawl. They've got Peter Bell on, then Farmer.
And here's Jeffrey slipping over, bounces back. Oh, don't tell me! What a goal that is! Goes long. Crowley getting back. Farmer. Thank you, Jeffrey. One of your finest. Parted mouth stuff for Saws Murphy. Gracefully glides in. One of the marks of the day.
Some good positives for the Dockers though today, with Hazelby coming back in and getting his hand on plenty of football. And Justin Longmuir, I think, it's once again, it should have been a tackle, that one. Bumps do nothing.
Yeah, Longmuir's been all right, Jared. He's got 4 now. Murphy going to pass it into the pocket and finding Peake. Thank you and good night.
Well, they're all big. There's no question. I mean, today's could have been the most important, and people think, well, you know, Hawthorn has a very young team and it's difficult to travel when you're young. And they've certainly, you know, rebuilding their club. But if you look at patterns over the last 5 years, it's these types of games and last week's types of games that teams who don't show some form of maturity usually drop.
Bell, Mundy and Black the best, Farmer and Longmuir the top goal kickers in a 9-goal win.
Back to Carr, inside 50, over the head of Farmer.
The club was on a roll, and when it arrived at Football Park to play the premiership favourites Adelaide, not many of the 43,000 gave the Dockers much chance. The slick, skillful Dockers led by 9 points at quarter time and 18 at half time, but trailed by 3 points at three-quarter time before regaining the initiative. Fremantle put Adelaide under more pressure than it had experienced in most matches this season and thoroughly deserved its 12th win. The Dockers' rebounding defenders, Stephen Dodd, Luke McFarlane, Roger Hayden, Shane Parker, David Mundy and Michael Johnson had to take much of the credit for this as they combined to stifle the Crows' tall forwards. It was only the second win in 10 clashes for the Fremantle Dockers against the Crows in Adelaide, but this clearly looked the best Freo side to play in South Australia.
It's bowing again. Side to be is on the left down there. Off hands, it comes behind the pack. Peake bounces one through, and the Dockers establish a handy break into the breeze.
Chance here for Murphy. Smother. Beautiful smother by Matner. He ran him down. Murphy tries to make amends. He makes it worse. Dowdy. No free kick paid. The natives are restless. Shammer to Cook. Back inside 50. Bouncing ball. Farmer will kick it.
And Johnson tracks it out towards the boundary, still going. Good pickup under the circumstances. Chips around the boundary and Farmer's away. Oh, clever by Jeffrey Farmer. Runs inside the 50, pulls it back for Murphy.
Well done, Jeff Farmer.
It's a huge kick for the Dockers season. In he comes. Good boy. He is very accurate.
Marich, Matner, stolen by Farmer, kicks it back. Pavlich runs onto it, looks up, he knows he's got it. Shammer over the top, Peak, he's got some space now, looks up, sends it long towards goal. Matthew Carr plays on and goals.
Dying seconds, good one. Well held today. Matthew Carr did a wonderful job. And on the siren, the Fremantle Dockers win their 12th of the season.
Having missed the finals by 2 and 4 points the last 2 seasons, certainly, make sure there's no complacency around the club. We think we need another 4 points, and we're desperate to get our hands on those. And we've been through some pretty tough times at Fremantle, so we've got a mature group now who have experienced all those times. So I think it gives us good resolve.
A club record 6th consecutive victory was set up by Black and Shammer, who picked up the Brownlow votes, while Farmer was the leading goal kicker with 3.
The Dockers with an open 50, 2-on-2.
The rise up the ladder continued when the Dockers thrashed St Kilda in round 20. Fremantle soaked up the early pressure, then poured on their own, and some more, and then some. It wasn't just the 9 unanswered goals that followed before the half-time siren. They harassed, ran harder, hit harder, and had a greater appetite for the contest.
Open goal. The Dockers have their 3rd. Sandilands is having a break for Fremantle as Pavlich goes for Headland, leading Blake a dance. Blake keeping at him. Baker, his opponent Farmer, has kicked one already. The goal is unguarded. That is his 2nd.
As that tackle stat shows us, this time it was a tackle from Gilmore that might set out one more. And guess who? Oh, it's number 4. Still threatening here at Subiaco, which is probably not great news for the Saints. Oh, Bell certainly committed there. And he ran the full circle and, gee, it proved effective. Strolling to goal for Des Headland.
Stephen Milne in unfamiliar territory, tangling with the opposition's sharpshooter.
Johnson, he's always a bit weird and wonderful with the ball, but he's got a lot of talent, and so is this man. Peak, miscues. Fisher got to be really courageous, and so is McManus. And it is going mighty close. Who looks up and sees, well, he sees mainly one-on-ones. And he sees Matthew Pavlich. He's very much a complete player, Matthew Pavlich. And they are giving it to St Kilda tonight.
But all done under pressure. Johnson for Black, and Fremantle are on the break. There was a free kick if they'd wanted it, and all dressed up with everywhere to go. And Pavlich efficiently slots it home for his 3rd.
Headland waits at the back, but Longmuir rises above them all. Headland, why not go for goal? Why not indeed?
There's a reverse turnover. Harvey to Revolt. Oh, there's another one. It's getting worse. Webster to Cook. Shammer now. Will he go all the way? Yes, he will. And he does. And they have another. Ferring for youngsters sitting up. Once kicked a goal at Moorabbin, a long ground from behind the centre circle.
That was about 80-something metres, wasn't it? Here's McManus. He set it up, and that might be home as well.
Drop punt.
He's thinking about it.
The drop punt cuts into the breeze a bit more. Always smart little chip kick.
Free kick, advantage, Shammer. There's another one.
Farmer kicked 4, McManus, Bell and Peak were all terrific in a 10-goal win. Make that 7 wins in a row.
White jumpers are on in the middle.
Fremantle wrote another chapter in its short AFL history when it trounced arch-rival and ladder leader West Coast in a club record 8th win in a one-sided Western Derby on a Sunday afternoon in front of a record home and away attendance of 43,527 at Subiaco. The Dockers kicked 11 consecutive goals from time on in the first quarter to the second minute in the last. It was billed as the biggest match Western Australia has ever seen due to what was at stake, and Fremantle stepped up for the occasion. Its relentless run and superior work rate simply overwhelmed a tired Eagles outfit. Led by the wizardry of Jeff Farmer, the inspiration of Peter Bell and the grunt of ruckman Aaron Sandilands, Fremantle simply outgunned the West Coast.
To put Fremantle back in front. Good enough.
Black goes into the middle. Farmer's tap over the top. Clever. Michael Johnson can link up with Peake. Great build-up from the Dockers. What a team goal this would be. Peake from 40 metres out for the finish. Oh, yes! Brilliant.
Hazelby in that direction. Pavlich. Good work by Glass. Assumed the front spot. Eagles defence under siege. Can Cook get through? Got the handball to Crowley. Dockers on the march now.
Dockers win it in close again. Sandilands inside 50. Over the back, another tap on from Farmer. This time for Bell to go bang. Parker pushes up the ground to Matthew Carr. Considers going himself. Does the team thing to the top of the square. Great grab, Hazelby. It's the most West Coast have conceded all year. And they're looking to emulate that this afternoon as Hazelby drives through another. Gives it a ride, it won't quite get there. Who's front and centre? We're a punter taken down. Crowley lunges, wins the football, gets it to Pavlich, gives it to Hazelby, and he kicks a goal.
I think if they could, they'd like to rest a couple of players.
McManus inside 50. Here's Longmuir. Gathers. Kicks hurriedly at goal. For the goal of the day! Tribute to Rex nonetheless. Josh Carr, they're queuing up here. Who will take it? Farmer, perhaps? He'd love another one. He's enjoying it today.
Well, his public enemy, well, he's seated 1 or 2 alongside Ryan Crowley.
Oh, look at that.
Just to rub salt into the wound. Long way to go in the race for the trophy. Troy Cook enjoys the moment.
Wide to half forward, the bounce important. Farmer onto it. Oh, where's he going? Out wide for Pavlich, and it travels the required 15 metres, and he might end up with a goal assist. Kicking long to the faithful, who sit back and enjoy it.
But we haven't played in finals pressure yet, and we're certainly working at our game to do that. You know, as I've said, we've played in one final. Adelaide have played in 17, West Coast have played in 15 since our inception. So we're in uncharted waters.
West Coast's final score was its lowest in 24 derbies and the losing margin the biggest in 12 years. Farmer 4, Bell, Sandilands and Farmer the best players.
Again, a fickle bounce, but Pete just loves it, gathers it from behind his body.
The records continued to tumble. When Port Adelaide hit Perth, the Dockers were looking for a record 15th win of the season, 3rd place on the ladder and a 9th successive victory. And they did it in style. Farmer and Pavlich destroying Port with 11 goals between them. Ruckman Aaron Sandilands was again a star, while Ryan Crowley, seemingly intent in rivalling Josh Carr as Fremantle's biggest antagonist, also dominated with 35 disposals and 2 goals.
Carr took his eye off the footy. Good strong tackle. Here's Cook again. He's enjoying himself. So's this man. Farmer spins on the thruppity bit and kicks a goal.
And on the end of the queue is Carr. Can kick a goal here. Wants to share it with Headland. They're going to overdo it. Farmer, slip, slide, away, goal! Playing on, ambitious kick to Shammer! I didn't think he was going to get there. It's a hanger from Shammer. This is a different proposition. Just kick through it. And he does.
To 30 metres out, Longmuir up, didn't take the mark. Farmer has made this pocket his own. He steps around 1, steps around 2, kicks with the left. You are a genius.
Got to the front, needs a crummer. McFarlane Back to Bell on the left. Ding dong, it's a goal. And away go Port Adelaide on the rebound. Not just yet though. That's an untidy handball. Peter Bell, Longmuir stepping around. Farmer for number 4. Black looping handball to Peake. Can take it and go. Can take on Pearce. Sandilands provides the block. Peake provides the goal. Heading high, top of the square. Longmuir's going to take another run at it. He didn't have to. Headland came in.
We'll get on somewhere.
Can we do a deal?
It's a patient build-up. Here's Dodd. He'll go over the top of that. And that man, Pavlich, from right on 50. Goal umpire doesn't move.
Port finding it hard to clear now. Polak back to Des Headland, trying to atone for that last shank. Here's Longmuir, fit as a fiddle. Goal.
There's an opportunity to have an impact in the finals. You know, statistically that's what it shows, but for us it's a whole new season. The players have put themselves in a good position, but you know, it's uncharted waters for Fremantle, and you know, we're looking forward to seeing exactly where we're at. But what we do know is we've got a lot of confidence from the preparation in terms of the tough games we've played.
Farmer 6 to make it 50 for the season. Pavlich 5, while Peake, Farmer and Sandilands shared the Brownlow votes in a 79-point massacre.
Been one of the features in midfield as the season's gone on.
The Dockers went into the final series on the back of 9 straight wins. First up, they would meet Adelaide at Amy Stadium. This was a game about belief, and while Fremantle started with every ounce of strength and endeavour, it ultimately was sapped by a relentless and disciplined Adelaide defence. Freo's strength lay in defence, where Michael Johnson, Luke McFarlane and Shane Parker were outstanding. Their work rate was exceptional and was largely responsible for the quality forward thrusts. 3 goals up at quarter time in the heavy, windy conditions, and still a goal up at half time. The Dockers would fade in the final quarter.
And they've been winning when he's been on fire, and he started well today.
Target is Hayden of all people. Goodwin almost held on to it, wasn't paid. Johnson did very well. Got it to Carr, now Headland's away. Headland inside attacking 50, Pavlich. Too good. There's the angle from 25 metres. He squeezes it through for a goal. Dockers have 3.
Kick up to leading target, not kick the ball high.
Shelley's kick only as far as Bell. Johnson, Shammer. Back to Bell, now Black from outside 50. Oh, gee, reverse torpedoes a goal! Thought about giving it back. Troy Cook, where does he go? Kicks it high. Big pack of players again. Rutten, great tackle from Farmer. It's a throw. From 25 metres, kicks it low and kicks it straight. And Fremantle get one against the flow of play.
Stevens. For Douglas, this will be tough. Well done by Black. His closing speed was good. McManus. There's a loose man on. That's Shammer. As he looks up, Cook is inside 50. Couldn't get it to him. Carr might still get it to him. He's not normally the greatest kick in the world, but Cook has done enough.
Well done, Hayden. Shammer. McManus now in space, 65 from goal. Pulls it back to the top of the square. 2-on-2. Pavlich. Well done by Stevens. Chance for Farmer at ground level. Cook fighting hard. Free kick. Which way will it go? Fremantle against, was it Shirley? 20 metres. Should convert and does.
Probably defensively as difficult of conditions. You get a howling gale, you know, well-coached team to zone back in defence. You know, really inhibited our ball movement. And as the game unfolded, we just didn't, you know, give ourselves any opportunities in our forward 50.
Down by 5 goals. Farmer and Pavlich the multiple goal scorers with 2 each. Black, Bell and Johnson the best.
And we might have a delayed start here because...
Since joining the AFL in 1995, there had never been final success. On a weekend when both of the semi-finals were played in Perth for the first time, the Dockers would break through. This time Melbourne, and the victory would be emphatic. Best players were clearly Fremantle's young running players and ground-level ball winners. Half-back, Heath Black was a standout with his tireless searching runs up the field, with his long left foot kicks into attack, setting up numerous scoring opportunities. Matthew Carr, along with brother Josh, were also extremely good. The Carr brothers constantly won the ball and cut up Melbourne with their running, while captain Peter Bell and wingman Byron Shammer were influential. Giant ruckman Aaron Sandilands outplayed Jeff White in the ruck, and that proved vital.
Last time it was Holland. He goes for the square. So the two important players, Pavlich and Farmer, combine as Pavlich puts Fremantle in front.
You would have that feeling, Luke, that you expressed earlier. But he doesn't go for it, and that's pretty good play. Having held their ground in this opening term. Mundy, a young Victorian, kicking it long, very long, long enough. Yes, by a whisker, and the Dockers are back in front.
In front of their home crowd, they're doing it pretty tough.
Out of the middle, Pavlich. Out wide, this is Shammer now. Moving inside 50, digging deep for Fremantle, and providing a goal. A lifter.
Matthew Carr and the Dockers. Shammer again. He is starring in this quarter. Sandilands works it forward. And Fremantle press again. Webster with Farmer. Does get the ball onto his boot and does it brilliantly. And Murphy can line them up from about 40. And it's perfect. He's split them wide open. And the Dockers pull back to within 9 points. Loops it onto Black. A long way out. Places it well. Murphy! Oh, yes! Saw the chance. Set himself for the climb. Did it perfectly.
Gee, that's an example of how confident he is. He really could have gone through from behind, and maybe that was the wiser decision. But McLean got it all ahead of him. Here's Longmuir. Hasn't had a great year, been in and out of the team with injury. But he's come up with the goods. Third time lucky for their set shots. It's through. Sandilands again, crunching hit down beautifully. Shark though by Bruce. Generating some footy for them through Green. A wobbly one. Can Neats handle it? No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a great mark.
That's what he can do. He's one of the best contested marks in the AFL, this young fella.
It was Daniel rather than David giving it away. Webster over the top. Now Mundy flowing forward. Still the spare man's back for Melbourne. The run comes from the side. Murphy again.
He can take a leap. They know he can take a leap, so they're prepared to pop it up in front of the goal square to the danger spot.
So even though the season tally is very good, he has missed some ones, but he's got that one on line. Fremantle are in front of Subiaco. White with the touch, but again it's that man Black. So damaging, it's a dangerous ball. And in a whirlwind, Jeff Farmer has taken the mark and will line up for Fremantle. So it's a big moment for Jeff Farmer. And the moment has been seized.
Dangerously long, difficult for Nathan Brown. Bell.
Just hanging on the D's.
Murphy. Peak. Cleverly off the outside of the boot. And, Mundy couldn't quite make it. Really good. Carroll dispensed with. Cook finishes the job for Fremantle. Shammer, it's all Fremantle here. Black. That left boot, rapier-like, is right down the throat of Matthew Carr, who can run in and kick the goal.
McManus through the middle. What a clearance. Cleared the path and onto the chest of Farmer. Oh, Carr's got away. And so has Pavlich. Free kick.
Parker's moved on to Neats.
For Fremantle. And the kick is very, very good.
Oh, Johnston's knocked it straight to Shammer, who only had about one man forward of him. It was Pavlich. Webster now. Back to Shammer. And now the Dockers run forward. Longmuir. Slippery ball getting through his fingers, but he laid a good shepherd on young Smith. And Headland is away. And he could be the killer here. He could put this beyond the Demons' reach. He nails it. The Dockers are just about there.
Going through the motions. Mundy. Black. There it is. On their third attempt, Fremantle win a final. They're into the
fantastic. It's to get the monkey off the back, you know. It starts to turn into a gorilla if it keeps hanging around. But more importantly, we move into a preliminary final. The players have etched themselves in Fremantle history, but now have the opportunity to etch themselves in football history.
Freo by 28 points, an historic first finals victory. 4 players scored 2 goals, while Black, Carr and Shammer were the best. To Telstra Stadium in Sydney for the club's first preliminary final against the Swans, and 61,000 gave the visitors a raucous reception. Pavlich gave his side tremendous drive from centre-half forward, but the Swans' forward line would prove too potent.
He's taking responsibility for it. To give his team a big lift. It was a big mark. And he's got a result. Crowley has taken it and try and intimidate him from coming out. But he can, and he does, and he goals, and the Dockers have their second.
Whoever comes his way, you know he can handle it. Very few can do that.
Quick kick by Headland to the 50. Bolton muscled his way to the front. Got a clip behind the ear from far. Umpire let it go. The whiz kicks it to the tip of the goal square. It might bounce through. Ooh. It's a free kick to the Dockers.
Pavlich got the ball inside 50 and Pav finishes it off.
That's a good kick to Webster. So they're working their way forward slowly. Webster pumps it long. Pavlich is the target. It's got to beat a couple. And he does! Oh, well done, Matthew Pavlich. Shouldn't miss from here. And he makes no mistake. 10 points of difference. There's Josh Carr throws it on the boot. Richards got clean bowl. And here's Pavlich.
They were lucky there. It was a poor kick from Carr. Chance for Bell. Not a noted goal kicker. In a tight spot. How will it bounce? I reckon it's gone all the way. It has. The skipper kicks a big one for the Dockers.
Sandilands. Third man up was Richards. Slapped it straight to Bell. Bell has kicked the goal. Oh, big goal for the Dockers on half-time. Jolly worked his way to the front. Pinched by Pavlich. And the Dockers get the first.
It's time for some miracles now for Fremantle. They've got to kick 5 goals unanswered against this incredibly efficient, disciplined Sydney outfit. Johnson long. Sandilands is there. He's needed to hang on. He's done everything else. Murphy has popped it through. And Fremantle are still having a dip.
You know, because you don't prepare to lose. You spend no time thinking about losing at all. So you end up gutted, really. When we got back within 6 or 7 points, you know, I thought we hadn't played our best football. And, you know, the one thing you can back in with the players, or they've shown over the 12-week campaign that we've had where we've really been playing for our lives, is the players haven't given in and our work rate's always high. You know, we're really fit and you know, share the load in that area, and you know, worked our way back into it, but really hadn't executed as well as we'd liked. And you know, just in retrospect after the game, is probably similar to aspects of the Adelaide game, where we just didn't execute and have mechanisms to get the ball inside forward 50 to give our forwards a chance. Yeah, look, yeah, Sydney, you know, hard-nosed finals team, and you know, there becomes pivotal points in the game, and for them, and that's when we're on the charge. And you know, when we got close, they'd kick the next goal, and then it'd stretch out to 13 points, and then we'd have to work our way through it again. But they'd grab the initiative early. When you get to this stage of the season, you're playing class teams, so there's going to be momentum swings both ways, and you need to make sure you execute well when you get your looks, and you've got to make sure that you know, you restrict the scoring. I mean, that'd be one of the highest scored Sydney's kick for the year. So they were really sharp with their execution. They probably missed a few easier type shots too, but they were really sharp with their ball use. And you know, I think if there's one pivotal area, it was probably that they just you know, used the first option, executed. Look, it's not acceptable in any way, shape or form, and there's,
You know, there's got to be, you know, a lot of honesty throughout the club on all fronts for us to get better. And that has to be done in an aggressive manner. You know, so we can, you know, put a plan in place to get better. What we saw tonight was our better players lead from the front, Matthew Pavlich, Peter Bell, and we struggled with the depth then, but a lot of the players are in a bracket where they're going to really improve.
So the Dockers bowed out, down by 6 goals. No fault of Pavlich, who kicked 4, Bell and Carr, who were brave in defeat.